up, Sauce Gang, and welcome back to the channel. Hot Sauce Beats here with another dope reaction for you. Well, guess what, fam? We got some Dream SMP lore theories happening right now because Animagician dropped a brand new video, and this one's called The Dream SMP Has a Secret Villain. Ooh. Man, does the Dream SMP got tons of villains. I mean, we got endless supply of villains. A lot of you guys have been letting me know that I gotta check this out, and especially before Friday, before Tales of the new SMP, Tales of the SMP, the new one drops. You said this is drastically gonna affect that. I gotta see what ties into each other. But before we jump in the video, make sure you support Animagician by subscribing to their channel and liking this original video. And if you enjoy my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. But enough talking, let's get to reacting and roll that bomb ass intro.
Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Hot Sauce Beats is finally here. Eat, sleep, make beats. Eat, sleep, make beats.
Hot Sauce Beats. Woo woo. Let's go, Sauce Gang.
Tales of the SMP was the first part of the Dream SMP lore to really go all in on production value, with these massive, incredibly made builds to entire 20-minute recorded segments to play at the end to build up the lore even more. After season 1 left us on an incredible cliffhanger, hinting at something to do with the quote-unquote other side, and perhaps even a tie into the rest of the SMP.
So, I know there's still some of, I think we haven't seen the last 2 of Tales of the SMP, so I might get a couple little spoilers in here. But it's okay. It's okay, chat.
Noped out of existence. Until, that is, Carl dropped a trailer for season 2 on Twitter yesterday. And just to give you an idea of how dense this trailer is, the actual content only lasts for about 40 seconds. I'm making an entire video about it. I grew multiple.
This trailer is so... If you guys have not seen the trailer yet for the new Tales of the SMP season, you gotta peep it out. It's called Maze.
3-hour streams per video to try and make them as packed as possible, and this one 40-second trailer beats all of that. But there's a reason for that. This trailer alone provides some of the most insane lore speculation we've had ever, period. There's something here, something that I might not exactly hit on the head with this video, but something for sure, something that will definitely affect every character on the SMP. To give you an idea of the scale, however, and hear me out here, from this trailer, and of course with a healthy amount of speculation and overthinking, what else do you expect from this channel, I think that we can literally assume that Jack Manifold is the god of death. I know that's an outlandish claim, but I think by the end of this video, you'll see where I'm coming from, if not agree with me. And this all starts with the trailer that Carl posted. Since it's only about 40 seconds, I'll play it here and pay attention.
Okay, Animagician, you got my interest peaked, fam. You got my interest peaked. I'm curious to see where he goes with this. Because Jack, I don't even know much Jack Manifold lore, really. Like, I just haven't seen much of it. So I'm curious where he's getting, he's the god of death.
Every line here is important.
I've met a lot of people in my life.
Oh, yeah, you guys get to see the trailer right here. This is amazing. Jeez. Look at
Even
that.
if I win, even if I lose, either way, I mean, this place is still going down.
Okay, so that's Rambo.
People don't live after coming here. Nobody leaves here. Leaves here. Leaves here.
No one leaves here.
Well, you see, the egg can persuade people to do what it wants.
That's Lazarbeam, Technoblade.
Carl, I've been waiting so long to meet you.
Okay,
Jack
holy
Manifold?
shit, right? Apart from the
So chat, again, I don't know any Jack Manifold lore, other than the fact that he stole TommyInnit's hotel. Like, that's it. That's all I know. I don't know anything.
actual Maze Runner clone that is the next Tales from the SMP, we had voice lines from a few very specific people: Ranbu, Techno, Dream, and Jack Manifold. There are 3 voice lines inserted from previous Tales episodes, from Techno's character Lazarbeam, Dream's character Ranbob, and Ranbu's character Ran, and of course Carl himself. All of these people, Jack, Ranbu, Dream, Techno, they're all tied together by one very specific thread: death. More specifically, Techno's notoriety for never dying, his title as the Blood God, his reputation as a seasoned killer. Ranbu's deaths are so weird I made like 3 videos that include them. Dream owns the revival book. And lastly, and most importantly, Jack. I've only mentioned Jack's story arc in passing before on the channel, but it's actually incredibly interesting. See, the entire time Jack has been on the server, his arcs have been largely separate from the rest of the SMP. While Wilbur and Tommy are doing their thing with Lamanberg.
Here's another thing I don't know, Chad, either. I don't know, has Jack ever died? Like, what has he... sorry, excuse me. Like, what has he been a part of? I don't think, was he actually part of Lamamberg? I don't know any Jack Ghost.
Jack is starting a quickly forgotten country called Manifold Land. While everyone else is stressing out about Dream and stuff, he's building one lone van in the middle of nowhere called the Mani Van. And then, most importantly, one day he logs into the SMP, and this happens.
Oh, you just glitched, my friend.
I just got sent to hell or some shit. What?
Yeah,
did I really do something this bad? I just got sucked straight down to the depths of hell?
Now, this is caused in real life by just a poor connection to the server. Believe me, being Asian, I know. But Jack took that mishap and ran with it, making it a part of his lore. You see, canonically, Jack has already died all 3 times. He's dead and should be down wherever all the dead people go on the Dream SMP. But out of sheer spite, out of sheer force of will, sheer
he crossed his way out of hell?
He clawed his way back up. Out of hell, back onto the SMP. What? Screw the life system, screw the rules. But, of course, there's a catch.
So is he, so chat, is it Jack Manifold, or is it like, Managhost? Ghostifold? Ghostifold? What do you like better, Ghostifold or Managhost? Or Manaboo? Manaboo.
Ever since then, Jack has never been truly alive, never experienced things in the same way on the SMP. He's described it as being constantly cold, constantly sick, haunted by the fact that he's not where he should be.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Okay, keep that in mind. Let's talk about the in-between a little bit. More specifically, a bit of a quirky, kind of wacky music.
So this is something I'm just like starting to get to in Dreams, Tales from the SMP is starting to get into this Carl Jacobs lore right here.
I don't think the in-between is actually another dimension, like I've seen so many people say, and like I have actually said in the past. I think it's actually the incredibly distant future. If you watch this video I made, you'll know that I'm pretty sure Dream, in the end, will completely destroy the current Dream SMP, absolutely demolish all the land we now know of, and leave nothing behind but ocean. If we take that as the truth, having a floating island far above the ocean out of Dream's reach, that seems to be the only way to avoid that kind of destruction. An island amongst the clouds. An island in between what's left of the SMP and the void. This is the shakiest part of this theory though, because I think the reason Carl goes to the in-between after nearly every trip is because he's balancing out how he time travels. In nearly every Tales episode he goes to past, and so to balance that out he goes to the future, with the in-between being that future. Even if we don't take this whole future thing as canon, however, the rest of the theory still has legs. As I've said before, I think that Dream XD, the server's god, controls the in-between, and we just recently learned that XD is powered by death, that he wants, and I quote, people to be revived and killed because that gives him the special sauce he needs to remain as powerful as he is. He dropped the revive book and the death.
So then, by him saying he thinks he controls the in-between, so he thinks then that Dream XD, the god, literally just essentially controls everything. Like, he has his hand in every single cookie jar.
We'll try and perpetuate that cycle.
The master of puppets.
Perpetuate being the most important word here. Now, given that I've just established that Dream is going to eventually kill everyone on the SMP, wipe them all out, and therefore remove all sources of power from Dream SMP after they're dead, in this future, in the in-between, Dream XD has no one to die for him. He has no source of power. That is, however, until you consider Carl. Carl being a time traveler, he could come back to the in-between again and again, slowly filling up the White Palace with clones of himself that could be killed at any time. Clones that would sustain Dream XD infinitely. Obviously though, no one would do that willingly, and that's why everything is so secretive in the in-between. Stay on the path because we don't want you leaving. Ever. When you look at the in-between from Carl's perspective, something that's immediately obvious is that when everything is going right, according to people who control the in-between, the sun is constantly out. It's warm. It feels safe. Now, hold that thought for a second, because one of the main interesting points about Carl's stints in the in-between is that every clone of himself, every one of these other Carls, wears pure white, almost as if their clothes have been bleached, almost as if they've been in the sun, in that perfect in-between, for way too long. For so long, in fact, that their color, their power, has been completely taken from them. Carl and his clones are kept in the in-between in stasis for years and years and years and years because everyone else is dead. XD keeps tugging him back to the in-between because that's the only way he can survive. That's the only thing that's keeping him in power. Now, however, we get to the really interesting stuff, the other side. If you're enjoying this video...
So, I mean, in essence then, he's essentially saying that just straight up Carl Jacobs is keeping Dream XD alive. Now, not on purpose, but essentially, right? Like, Carl Jacobs is Dream XD's lifeline.
However, please do consider subscribing. It helps the channel out a ton. It's not a stretch at all to say that the other side is controlled by the egg, right? The nether aesthetic, the blood vines, it's an eggy place. However, we also hear Jack's voice over this part of the video, and that's what led me to the theory that I'm at now. As I've said earlier, it's only a matter of time till Dream starts killing everyone on the SMP, eventually reducing it to what we see later in the Lost City of Mizu. Everyone necessarily includes our boy Jack. Jack, however, is barely involved in the SMP's happenings. He's not the first person who comes to mind when you're picking people off. Dream, therefore, will give away his plan by going for Quackity or Techno or Tommy, and Jack will realize that eventually Dream will come for him. However, Jack is just separated from the SMP. He's not stupid.
Say subs, but without the B. Sus.
Okay, well, he's not that stupid. You see, I think that Jack will strike a deal with the egg. A deal to make sure that he doesn't die fully when killed by Dream, and instead retains a bit of his life when he gets sent back to where he's meant to be. That bit of life giving him immense power over the realm, because it's not something it's designed to contain. If we take a look at Jack's skin, there's a clear dominant color here. Blue, which as we've seen from basically the only other blue SMP member, makes you more susceptible to the egg's control. We've also seen that the egg turns blue things red, completely taking over their minds and having a lot more control over them, but I'm getting ahead of myself. It's at this point we need to take another bit of a detour to explore the power system that backs this whole theory.
Okay, Annie, you're definitely throwing some theories at me here. I feel, I don't know. This is a tough one. I feel like this one might be a little bit reaching, but again, when we're talking about Carl Jacobs, anything's possible because he time travels and you had all these different places that aren't part of the normal Dream SMP. So really anything is possible. So I mean, I'm picking up what you put down, but it's just I got to reach a little bit extra further to get it.
In my opinion, there are two types of power that can be used by the gods on the Dream SMP, and they're both derived from death. Power type number 1 is the type that Dream XC uses, and it's a much more volatile and short-lived burst of power that's obtained from a person dying. That need not be their last life. It doesn't matter if they revive, but as long as they die, it powers Dream XD. Think of it like a sugar cube. A huge amount of energy super quickly that dies off really fast and leaves you in a slump. Easy to get addicted to, wouldn't you say? Power type number 2, however, is what powers the egg, and that's permadeath. An actual lost life. No revived lives lost, completely dead, and that power is both incredibly strong and very long lasting. It's the kind of power that kept the egg going for as long as it did, from billions time, hundreds of years in the past, to the other side, hundreds of years in the future. Therefore, keeping Carl in the in-between, time traveling and dying over and over and over isn't helping anyone but Dream XD, who gets more power than the egg each time it happens, despite that burst being short-lived, and that's why it's so incredibly hard for Carl to get to the other side. The other side, however, is controlled by Jack and the egg. Jack, who gave the egg an insane amount of power on his last life in exchange for not fully losing it and managing to become the ruler of the other side. They don't want Dream XD to stay empowered because he's impeding their complete dominance, and therefore they're trying to stop Carl from time traveling altogether. The in-between actively encourages Carl to keep time traveling, saying that the reason he needs to is because a library of knowledge that'll help the other SMP members should be built up. That's nonsense. They're trying to leverage Carl's concern for his friends to try and use him for power, and that's why the egg destroyed the library, to try and remove that motivation. This power theory also makes a lot of sense when we consider the events of the Red Banquet. Foolish, who is a centuries-old shard.
Did he just say the egg destroyed the library? Is that true, chat? Because again, there's, like I said, I'm going to get some spoilers here, but did the egg destroy the library? Because that was huge. That was like, I think one of the very first things that Carl wrote in his journal, or that was said to him in the in-between or something, right? Is at all costs guard the library. Do not let anything happen to the library.
Our totem god has almost certainly interacted with the egg before, and yet was unable to deal with it as he thought he could, unable to summon lightning to destroy it. A really good explanation for this would be the deaths happening around that time, and what do you know, this was around Doomsday, and also, incredibly importantly, the time when Dream and Pun started experimentation with the revivable. Although the subsequent revived deaths wouldn't give the egg any power, 6 canon lives plus Doomsday's death count being lost in that short period of time, that's an incredible power surge for the egg, the kind of power surge that would let it thwart Foolish's lightning as completely as it did. Anyway, this empowerment from the egg makes Jack a god of death, completely running on people dying and inherently opposed to Dream XD, both parties of whom want to eradicate the other. The other side is inherently on Carl's side, or as on Carl's side as it can be in this matter, not because they're good people, because they need him to do one thing: give up his time traveling. They want to show him how he's being used by the in-between, because that'll convince him him to at least try and stop, to not go into those purple and green portals whenever he sees them, to escape to the other side every single time he does time travel, putting a stop to Xy's supply of power and bleeding him dry over time. The other side has no use for time traveler Carl because his lives can't power them. But, and here's where the rest of the trailer gets explained, the way in which Carl finds this all out isn't clean. He discovers that the egg would much rather have all his friends from every time Meizu, the pus everywhere, die permanently. He doesn't want to be trapped in this consistent cycle of being used like a battery pack for Dream XD over and over, but giving Jack and the egg, of course, what they want could help them kill more of his friends in the future, with no do-overs, having them being dead.
Bro, Annie's getting deep on this one. So, I mean, we also haven't seen the egg in a while, so like I'm not 100% sure at the state of the egg. Like, is this something that we still need to worry about? Is it gonna, you know, grow to its earlier potential again in the future? Does it still have control over bad? Skeppy even a little maybe? Who knows? Like,
And in the end, we don't really know what'll happen. It's Carl's choice. He doesn't want to stay trapped forever, but he also doesn't want to lose his friends. Subscribe.
subscribe. Good job, bro. Okay, let me bring you guys back in. I feel like each new theory we get, right? It's just like, there's so many good nuggets of information in on these. There's things that either you don't catch when you're watching the streams, or maybe, you know, Animagician can kind of connect some dots that maybe we didn't see. Like, we're either connected or a way about that, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole Jack Manifold thing. Like, I think it was just more of along the lines of like, but again, if I don't know any Jack Manifold lore, so did Animagician said something about him selling his last life to not fully die or something like that? So maybe, because that's where I don't see the connection, other than just Animagician, or I mean, other than Jack Manifold being off by himself. But if Jack is tied to the egg, and the egg is in the after, then I can definitely see it. And then we definitely got some stuff to watch out for, because I think everybody knows and everyone agrees that I feel like we are coming to a point in Dream SMP lore, like something big's gonna happen, like a war, I think. So, and then again, we got season 2 of Tales of the SMP starting on Friday, so shit's gonna start popping off. But yes, guys, make sure you support Animagician, subscribe to his channel, like the original video, and let me know in the comments, what did you guys think about his theory with the egg, Jack Manifold, Jack being the god of death, and maybe that, you know, everything with Carl. So let me know, chat, and if you enjoyed my reaction, please help support the channel by smashing that subscribe and like button. It's absolutely free and it greatly helps out the channel. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and remember, it's eat, sleep, and make beats, and as usual, be kind to one another. And that's all I got. Boom, I'm out. Got my love for the Sauce Gang. Peace. Love you, fam.